In the summer of 1961, 10-year-old Sally Snowman stepped off her father's boat onto Little Brewster Island and gazed at the Boston Light, America's first lighthouse. Awestruck by the towering white structure that guided ships safely into Boston Harbor for nearly 200 years, she told her father, "Daddy, when I grow up, I want to get married here." She was so fascinated by Lighthouse during a picnic trip to Whistle Stop that it inspired another childhood dream, an unusual one for a little girl, to one day become keeper of Boston Light. Snowman, now 72 years old, did not return to the island until October 8, 1994. That day, she got her first wish and married her husband, Jay Thompson, in an intimate ceremony on lawn under the gaze of Boston Light. 9 years later, on August 10, 2003, Snowman's second childhood dream came true. She was named caretaker of Boston Light, first woman in its history to hold position. Today, Snowman is last lighthouse keeper in America, when she will set sail on December 30, marking the end of a 307-year era of sea that was replaced by smartphones, satellite navigation and radar. Sally Snowman, keeper of the Boston Light, is America's last lighthouse keeper. When he steps down on December 30, there will be no more manned lighthouses in the country, marking the end of a 307-year maritime era replaced by smartphones, satellite navigation and radar. Boston Light is America's first lighthouse and dates back to 1716. Sally Snowman became the first female goalkeeper in history when she was appointed in 2003. He also gave emotional reflections on what's next for him and for Boston Light, which will be transferred from the U.S. Coast Guard to a new owner and lose its status as America's last manned lighthouse. Deadly Waters. The history of Boston Light dates back to the early 18th century and is rich with gripping tales of war, tragedy, courage and romance. We met Snowman at Hull Lifesaving Museum, a former Coast Guard station built in 1889 that overlooks the ocean and lighthouse a mile away. The Snowman is instantly recognizable by his keeper's uniform, a handmade robe, cape and bonnet, all dating back to style of women's clothing from 1783. The year current lighthouse structure was built. He explains that when he got the job, Coast Guard chiefs told him to stay away from the crowds. Inside the museum's gift shop, visitors can purchase a map identifying dozens of shipwreck sites around Boston Harbor, a visual representation of why a lighthouse is desperately needed here. Construction on first lighthouse structure on island was completed 1716. After a campaign by colonial merchants and sailors to put an end to too frequent loss of life in ships and rocks waters around harbor. A sketch depicts the original Boston Light Tower from 17,331,734. The original tower was destroyed during the Revolutionary War and the current tower was built in 1783. A photograph taken in 1895 shows the duplex keeper's house of the Boston Light. This building,